I love basil. As you can see, I have a lot of it. Usually what I'll do is I'll take some of it, freeze it, but I decided to do something else and make one of my favorite things, which is pesto. Pesto is such an easy thing to make, and it's super delicious, and it's perfect on bread, on pastas. It's so amazing on pasta. Like, if you don't know that, you probably living under a rock. Like, how do you not know how delicious pesto is on pasta? It's one of my favorite dishes to make when I'm feeling super lazy. But in summary, stay tuned, because today I'm gonna show you how to make a perfect simple pesto and why it's one of my favorite things to make. First, let's get started on that sauce. So what you're gonna need for this pesto sauce is some basil. You can go to the grocery store and get some basil, but you're gonna need a lot of basil. So what I did was, you already know, your boy did the smart thing. Make a garden, you guys. It's super cheap. Just get you some soil, get you some $5 basil, and watch it grow in 2 weeks. It grew super fast and it's super cheap. I think everyone should just grow their own basil instead of buying it. Unless y'all got money like that, keep buying it, I don't care. But we're gonna remove all the stems and make sure y'all clean y'all's produce. I clean it with some vinegar and some water to remove all that bacteria, because it has been outside. Put it on a towel and we're just gonna let that dry. So we finally gonna get started to make this pesto. Get you some garlic, get you some fresh Parmesan, get you some pine nuts, and get you some olive oil. But we about to talk about them pine nuts. My question is, why are pine nuts so expensive? Maybe I need to go on my computer, type in why they're so expensive, but I just want to know, why did I spend $12 on some pine nuts and I don't even get a lot? I don't blame y'all for not wanting to use them. So what you can use are walnuts, pistachios, almonds, or even sunflower seeds. And one ingredient I like to add is some spice, and that is a ghost pepper or any pepper. You can use habanero or no peppers at all if you don't like spice, but I like spice, and those are the ingredients needed for that pesto. Here's some fun facts for y'all. The word pesto is the past tense of the Genoese verb pastar, which means to crush. And as you can see, it is crushed in a mortar and pestle. So that being said, we're gonna use a mortar and pestle. Some of y'all don't have this, so stay tuned still. I'm gonna make one in the mortar and pestle and in the blender, so stay tuned, and I'm gonna have the ingredients below. But I'm gonna talk about why I do not really like using the mortar and pestle. First, I got a small mortar and pestle, so I can't really add a lot of stuff in here. But first, we're gonna add our basil and mix that up. Step 2, we're gonna add some garlic. Add the garlic to the mortar and pestle, and then try to crush it. Let one jump out, but it's all good. Step 3, we're gonna add those expensive pine nuts, or if you're smart, use some different nuts. Step 4, add the spice. What I added was a ghost pepper, as you already see, and I only added a little bit. Step 5, we're gonna add in that Parmesan cheese. I better not see y'all adding that fake Parmesan, bro. Like, get off this video if you do that. Next, add a little bit of olive oil, mix that up, and you good, and you have made some mortar and pestle pesto. And that's it. We're gonna wrap that up, put it in our fridge for at least up to 10 days. But here's the blender recipe. Get you a blender or a food processor. I'm using a food processor, but you can use a blender, it's all good. And we're gonna add 1 cup of some basil to that. Then we're gonna add 4 cloves of some garlic, 2 tablespoons of those expensive pine nuts, and then we're gonna add our spice in. You already know, if you don't want to add spice, you don't have to. Then we're gonna add about 1/4 cup of that Parmesan cheese, and right here I didn't add my olive oil. I was gonna add it in gradually. We're gonna keep pouring it until it becomes a little smooth, but we kind of want it chunky, and that's about 1/2 cup. And that is how you make pesto. It is so delicious, so easy to make. I showed you 2 ways on how to make it, and it's just so easy to make and so flavorful. You can put it on anything, and that's what's crazy about it. If you want to refrigerate it, add a layer of some olive oil, and this should be good for 10 days. So you better use it. But we about to use it right now, so take that lid off and get you a baguette or whatever you want. So I got me a French baguette, only $1, so cheap. And we're gonna cut them any size you want, and we're gonna add some olive oil on top. If you don't want to add olive oil, you can also add some truffle butter that I added on top. Add some Parmesan at 350, let that cook until it was golden brown. Add a side of that pesto, you already know. And then we just gonna get our bread. Add some of that garlic confit. If you want to know the recipe, I have it on my Instagram and on my YouTube shorts, so check that out. Aggressively add that bread into that sauce, and that is the money shot right there, baby. Ooh, that's a money shot right there. Yeah, I just said that, thank you. But we gotta pair this bread with some pesto pasta, and let's get started on that. First, you got 2 pasta options. Actually, you got 3, but I had this and I've been having this for a long time, but I didn't know how to use it. And I bought this, but I didn't know it said mini on it. I still could have used it. But I was told that the 3 pastas that you should use is penne and rotini. But I personally like fettuccine and linguine, so you can use whatever pasta you want. It's pasta. Like, bro, I don't even, it's all oh my gosh, in Italian. It's all in Italian. I can't even read this. I can't read Italian, bro. I'm black. So I tried to Google Translate, it didn't work, so I just got me a pot of water, just kept tasting the noodle every minute. I didn't know how fast it cooked, but it was only 8 minutes. So in the pan, I added some truffle butter, and then I added my cooked al dente noodles to the pan, just like that. Add a little bit of your pesto, then we're gonna add 1/4 cup of our pasta water and give that a mix. I told y'all it is super simple and so delicious. You don't need any meats to go on this. You can just have the herbs and the pasta. Add some cheese on top too if you want it to be extra cheesy and creamy. And baby, that is how you make some pesto pasta, and that is how you make some pesto. It's so flavorful, it's super good, and it goes almost perfect with anything. Add some Parmesan on top to that pasta, and we have a side of pesto too. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and that's it. Dang this, yeah. This is like one of the best pastas you can make. Super easy, super quick. If you grow a lot of basil like me, it's perfect. So try it. I'm right, you need to try it. So go in your kitchen now, get all these ingredients and try it, and tell me how y'all feel about it.